B 1 bombers have flown over the Korean peninsula twice in the last 10 days, a move that has drawn sharp criticism from North Korea amid rising tensions in the region. The latest flight involved two B 1 bombers flying from Guam across the peninsula, part of joint drills with South Korea and Japanese forces. North Korea expressing fury.
Due to the U.S. military provocations that are becoming more explicit day by day, the situation in the Korean peninsula, which is already sensitive, is being driven to a point close to nuclear war.
Even as President Trump says he would be honored to meet with Kim Jong-un.
If it would be appropriate for me to meet with him, I would be honored to do it. If it's under the right circumstances.
Well, obviously, it's a wrong thing to say. It gives some prestige to Kim Jong-un with his own people and in the world, standing in the world. And obviously, he is one of the most dishonorable people on earth.
This just days after Vice President Pence warned that President Trump is determined.
North Korea would do well not to test his resolve or the strength of the armed forces of the United States in this region.
All of this leaving the U.S. military reeling. Behind the scenes, half a dozen military officers with direct knowledge tell CNN there is a new effort to control the flow of U.S. military information. The worry? The president's contradictory statements and other once routine public information is fodder for North Korean claims of Pentagon warmongering. Officials say the Pentagon won't publicly acknowledge it, but will try to ratchet down its profile. That may be a tall order. Several long-scheduled events are in the works. A test of U.S. ICBM is scheduled for this week. At least 2 tests of U.S. missile defenses are set for the end of the month. A routine exercise practicing evacuation of civilians from South Korea is expected. And U.S. F-16s are moving temporarily from Japan to South Korea because their home airfield is undergoing maintenance. Pentagon officials say they want a higher profile for diplomatic pressure. The man nominated to be ambassador to China thinks that nation must do more.
And that we ought to do everything we can to convince them to be much more aggressive in dealing with the threats from North Korea. And if that doesn't happen, then I think we need to look at what can we do to try to apply more pressure